All right, Danielle or Amanda, who's ever doing it tonight.
The public is invited to participate at the items marked on the agenda public comment. During that segment of the meeting, if you have a question or comment for the supervisor, please raise your hand and wait to be acknowledged. Please state your full name and limit your remarks to 3 minutes. Thank you for your anticipated cooperation.
Thank you. Can we please rise for the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And please remain standing for a moment of silence for all those that sacrificed their lives to give us the opportunity to serve our country and our town. Thank you. All right, welcome everybody. May 27th Town Board meeting. Hope everybody had a good Memorial Day weekend. And let's have a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda.
Need a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Motion to approve the minutes from the May 12th, 2025 Town Board meeting.
I will make the motion to approve the minutes from May 12th.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Authorize payment of bills of $166,944.14.
I make a motion to authorize the payments of bills of $166,944.14.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Updates, just a quick update. The highway building is 99.9% complete. You could see the exterior of the building from 9W, but the interior looks just as good or better. Today they put in the dirt for the landscape, and I think the only thing we got left on the exterior is the actual landscaping from the front of the building, and then eventually we're going to blacktop it. I'm not sure if I have to look at our budget if we have funds left from the overall project to do blacktopping this year. If not, it's going to have to wait till next year. But it is complete. It looks great. The guys are happy. I've been happy with the work that's been done there by the everybody that worked on it. They did a really, really good job. Our engineers did a great job. So that's one thing. Secondly, it's coming into the season for the boat season. So we're going to start seeing the cruise lines come back down at the Milton Pier. And I know Dave and the crew has been down there making sure everything looks nice and clean and updated. I want to commend Councilman Zambito going down there and fixing the walkway personally. The walkway had a washout about a year and a half ago that we had that went down to the train station. And he took it upon himself to go down there and fix it with his machinery. We got our riprap rock that we've been using around down there to make it look like Marlborough with the rocks and the rock walls and stuff like that. And if you have a chance, go down there and check it out. It came out really good. So that's really nice.
Let me just reiterate on that. It's not that we use riprap to make it. I mean, it looks nice,
I know.
but that's not why we did it. We did it because there's severe runoff problems down there. There was runoff problems when the original contractor did the job, didn't do it correctly. 3 sets of granite steps all undermined and washed out. He's not telling you the whole story. We tried to get the main contractor to come back. He refused. We had to get it to sign off, and he wanted an astronomical amount of money to fix it. So we went down there and fixed, not just put riprap, but we fixed all 3 sets of granite steps. We had to take them apart. We had to pour concrete. We had to put footings in, which should have been done in the beginning. It never was. It was signed off by an engineer. You people have no clue what goes on behind the scenes.
Yep.
We went down and fixed everything. Now we put riprap along so the water won't erode the embankments anymore. It's a beautiful thing. The previous administration put that into fruition, and we're just trying to keep it going, and we're trying to make it safe for everyone. So I do hear things through the grapevine. Why are we spending money for this, and why are we spending money for that? I really would just wish that people would ask questions before they go off at the mouth, because I've had it to about up to here with it. And sooner or later, guys like me ain't gonna be around, and then when you need stuff done, good luck. So, yes, we did it to make things look better, but the main reason was because it was not done correctly, and it needed to be done. It
Yeah.
needed to be repaired before somebody gets killed down there. So if
Yes.
you do have time, go down and take a look at it. And if there's any complaints, I'd like them directed at myself, not in the deli or the hair salon. And I'm not,
Yeah, what you don't see under
To
the
be
rocks.
clear, we
and
don't
the
talk
riprap-
about this stuff in the hair salon.
What you don't see under the rocks and the riprap is all the cement work that was done, that had to be done, and all of the walkway steps had to be moved and realigned and everything else. So we had a major washout happen to be there, but it came out real
None of that was under warranty
not after a year.
after a year, so it's been over a year?
Oh, it's been 3 years.
I don't even want to get into it.
So, anyway, it looks 1,000 times better, and you can actually get to it now, right, Dave? I mean,
Yeah, you can get to
he
it.
made a rampway.
Also,
He cleaned out where the waterfall area is, so it's what, like he said, it should have been done this way from the beginning. So, but future project down there, I was talking to Dave about, and next year or the year after, it'd be nice to have a pavilion up in that area, because it looks down over the whole entire riverfront, which is really nice. But that's something we could look at budgeting if we can or not. But it's a nice area. So just like I said, we're coming into that season now. So we'll be having up on our site when the boats will be coming in, if anybody wants to come down and see when they come in. But there's going to be a lot more of them this year, so I'll look for that.
Scott, where would we get a schedule of the boats and when they're docking? Is that the...
I have it,
You have
so
it?
I could send it out.
Thank
It changes every so often, but we have the schedule. So I'll get Tina to put it out to Facebook. I'll give it to Danielle to put on the website, and we could have it up there, so.
Thank you.
Dave, thank you for your volunteering service. That was very nice of you to do that.
And, okay, so, and on other things on the business end, I've met 3 weeks in a row now with the dockside developers and the Falcon owners to go over parking. I think we have a verbal agreement in place right now to move forward. I can't share the details until we get a formal agreement in place, but it looks like we'll have something in place for that situation. But again, like I said at our original meeting when we had the all-hands meeting with the planning board, it technically isn't the responsibility of the applicant to make parking for the Falcon, but they are going out of their way to try to get them parking with the town, and we're working together. So I think we have a solution for that, just so the board has an update on that. You're going to see on tonight we have a resolution for Highland Solar. We did pass the pilot program, was it 2 meetings ago? This now is for the bonding that they need to make sure that they complete the job and that they maintain it in a proper way. So they have to have bonding in place on record with the town. So that's one thing there. Other things, I don't know if you want to talk about it now, or since you're here, about the parade a little. I'd like you to just give an update, because the rec committee, working with the American Legion and the Highway Department, really did an outstanding job again this year, organizing, getting more people to participate, having the band stay, having the kids stay. Tom, our legislator, organizing the Hometown Hero banners once again. We had another 28, I believe, this year.
30-some.
So we're up to 170 banners right now. So it's been an all-around great event. So if you want to talk about a little about it and what you plan on doing in the future.
Thank you, Scott. So we, in collaboration with the VB Sutton American Legion Post 124 and the Town of Marlborough Highway Department, we had a very successful Memorial Day parade on Sunday, May 25th. We had almost 40 organizations involved, signed up to participate, and over 60 vehicles in the parade. So I've heard it's one of the longest in a long time. So we're very happy. We hope to grow the parade even more. We had a very meaningful ceremony at the end. We had Senator Henchy there. We had Assembly Member Jacobson. We had Superintendent Mike Rydell with us. So we had a really great turnout. The county executive, Jen Metzger. Great turnout, and looking forward to hearing any feedback that anybody has and making it even bigger and better next year. I also, while I'm up here, just want to give a little report in on our Spring Fling fundraiser that we had on April 30th. We were able to raise funds to plant all of the storefronts in the Marlborough town with flowers. So if you were at the parade this past weekend, you saw that all the businesses had flowers in front of their storefronts, and the center of town was also planted. And then a look ahead, we have our concerts in the park coming. First concert is July 11th, July 18th, July 25th, and then our final concert is August 1st, and that one has fireworks. And at each of these concerts, there's an opening act, there's a headliner, and there's food trucks, multiple food trucks and dessert trucks. So we look forward to seeing the community at those events. Thank you.
Good job, Arlette, and the Recreation Committee.
No, I don't have anything to add, except for I thought the parade was definitely considerably longer than any one that I remember going back to childhood. I checked the time when we pulled into the elementary school and couldn't believe how late it was, which equals a long parade. And everybody just did an amazing job, everything I saw. I think the highlight for me was the rec committee float with the live band on it. They were luckily within earshot of our float, so I got to listen the entire time, and they were just awesome. So you guys, once again, found a way to kick it up another notch, so I'm not sure how you're going to continue to top yourselves, but it was an amazing job, and I know it couldn't be done without the entire rec committee and the highway department and, of course, the American Legion. So thank you to everybody involved.
Thank you. Very good. As you see, oh, there we go. I was having difficulty with my
You're getting there.
display, but here we are again. So, okay. I don't have any presentations tonight. Anybody have any comments specifically just on the agenda? No. Reports of committees? CAC committee? We had our rec committee update already.
Good evening and congratulations. It was a wonderful parade, absolutely. The CAC continues to collate our facts and figures to see if we have earned enough credits for bronze certification. If we don't meet the July 15th deadline to apply for that, we will continue throughout the summer to earn more points. We are pleased to know that the Marlborough Central School District considered placing an EV charging station on one of the school properties, although it is questionable at this time that this will occur. We are looking forward to working on promoting solar community outreach once the next AMP project begins. Members are also following the plans for Orchards on Hudson with hopes that traffic congestion on 9W will be adequately addressed before final approval for the development occurs. Attention to pedestrian access and municipal parking for Hamlet businesses should also be given due consideration. It is our hope that a full environmental impact study be conducted to give the public and the planning board adequate time and information to come to agreements for a development that will serve all the needs of the town for decades to come. To reiterate our concern as noted in our April 21st letter to the planning board, this project has many positive aspects and we applaud them. However, its presence will create a permanent change to the quality and character of the hamlet. We only have one chance to provide guidance and prevention of long-term problems. Our next meeting will be held on Thursday, June 12th at 6:30 at the Community Center. Respectfully submitted. And thank you very much for all that action on parking. We just hope it works out for all of the businesses in town. Thank you.
We've been working on it. Oh, yeah, that's not good. I'll have to change that. Okay. You did that, did you want to say anything else about committee?
No, the marketing committee did not meet in May due to myself primarily, but other members being unable to make the meeting. I was out of town, so the next marketing committee meeting is next Tuesday, June 2nd at 6 o'clock at the community center. And Meet Me in Marlborough will be joining that meeting to see how the two committees can collaborate.
Good. And Meet Me in Marlborough had a very successful yard sale community event about 2 weeks ago now, a week and a half ago now. They did very well. That was very well attended. I was there personally. I did get hit by a tent, but that's besides the point. But that's okay. But no, they did very well, and you know, they have a lot of events coming up in the near future. We still have the apple parade, apples that have to be put out. I know Veronica was working with the highway department. I'm not sure where they're at with that, because I thought by now they were supposed to be up according to the meetings I had with them. But I'm sure they'll be working that out. But I know there's a whole bunch of those apples that have to go out, so I hope that they get out, because we did give them permission to do so. So we'll see. They're really, really cool. So hopefully everybody gets a chance to see them. And I do want to commend the rec committee again on the flowers throughout the town. They really look great at all the businesses. We even got them at the highway department, which is nice. So it looks great. So spring is in the air, summer's in the air, so it looks great. All right, any other committees? I don't think we have anything else. New business, I just want to bring up to the board. I kind of mentioned it to you before the meeting. Just remember, next meeting will be into June, so it's Pride Month. So we'll have our little resolution that we have every meeting, but it'll be next month. So that's coming up. For work shop topics, does anybody have any specific things they want to bring up? Or all I want to bring up is some of the things that we're working on that's coming up throughout the summer. We're working on, I think next week, the guys, we're going to be working on the Buckley Bridge, the one that was damaged about a year ago. It's finally going to start getting repaired next week, I believe. In the park, at the Cluett Park on the upper field, we had drilled a well for up on the top of the fields, and we also have put a down payment on a portable garage area that the guys are going to build. So they're going to be working on that down at Sands Avenue Park, at the dog park. We're renovating the garage that was donated by the King, Mary Beth and her husband. So that's coming along. I know Dave's been doing a lot of work down there also. We're also talking about possibly putting some kind of vegetation along that one side, Dave, right?
Yeah,
or a fence area.
I think we're talking about putting a row of maybe white pines just to mask.
Right.
There's some trailers and boats and stuff parked in there, but it's private property. We really can't. We
Right.
can't tell them to move it, but it's kind of like an eyesore, so we're going to try and mask it with some natural tree line.
And we do have to put a fence around the garage, which they're going to do. That was part of the agreement of the donation. Again, down at the park, down at the pier, there's going to be you're going to see some painting going on, staining of the decks, and we're going to try to get that all cleaned up. We also had, forget it's a DEC or the deep, one of them are coming down. They're actually going to put monitors down on the, off the pier down there, and they're looking at how the river flows and different aspects of the river and fish life and things like that, how they flow. So there's going to be, you're going to see some sensors and stuff down there. They're going to be underneath the water, and we're going to have a solar panel box off the pier. So if anybody sees it, that's why that's going to be down there. What else? There's so many things that the guys are working on.
How about the pickleball courts?
Pickleball courts have been all measured out. All the materials have been looked at, what it's going to cost to order. So that should be coming and starting in the next couple of weeks.
Great.
So that's another one. That's a big one. So we're putting in 4 pickleball courts, and that's going to be down close to the pavilion in the Cluett Park. So if you're in the pavilion, And you know, the parking's up on the top of the hill, and there's that bottom level area at the bottom of the hill. There's gonna be 4 pickleball courts built in that area. That was put in the
Wow.
budget this past year. So
Great.
Manny's all ready to go. He's gonna start a league, he told me.
Yep.
They're gonna be in charge of it.
Yep.
So,
Co-ed league.
Sign me up.
sign you up, okay.
I know nothing about pickleball.
Neither do I. But everybody seems to want to do it, so. But, so anyway, those are some of the things that are going on. You'll see a lot more, you know, obviously roads are going to start to be paved and the ditches are going to start to be cleaned out if they haven't already. But there's a lot of things that go on during the summer. So just my main point is, just if you see things going on out there, we are trying to use your tax dollars as wisely as possible, maintain the facilities that we have, and upgrade the roads and that we do have already. So we'll be working on that.
So Scott, is Barone Construction out of the highway department? They're doing punch lists, they're done?
Yeah, he's,
They're-
like I said, he's got a couple little things he's just got to touch up, but for the most, like sealing the tile, sealing the floor in the back room, but he can't do it because we got all the stuff in the way, so we got to move everything. But for the most part, yeah, he's done.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like little tweaks. But there's also a year warranty on all his work too, so, on all that work. So if anything comes up, they'll come back. So, good thing is, everybody that worked on that facility was local contractors. So, that's a good thing. So, we could get a hold of them pretty quick and get them back there quick. So, really good. All right, correspondence. I do have a few correspondence. All right, this one's to the dear members of the Marlborough Town Board. Good evening. I'm writing as the president of the Down Syndrome Association of the Hudson Valley, which serves 7 counties, including Ulster. Our organization mission is to promote awareness and Down syndrome, provide education on Down syndrome, and advocate for those with Down syndrome. However, I strongly feel that the opportunities of DSAHV provides for families to socialize and network with other families is one of the most important things we do. We have selected the Cluett Memorial Park as a location for our annual Buddy Walk. This year's Buddy Walk is an extra special event as we celebrate the 40th year as the organization. I am respectfully requesting that the board please consider waiving the fees associated with the rental of the park pavilion. The Buddy Walk is our biggest fundraiser that supports the organization's work for the rest of the year. Thank you for your time and consideration. Sincerely, Tammy Gilhart, and she's the president of Down Syndrome Association of the Hudson Valley. Danielle, they didn't have a date in here, though. Did they give you a date?
They requested one date and then they changed it. Is there something around September 11th? September, I think it was.
Which day? Of June? Oh, September. So we checked, is there anything going on then? So September 20th. Is everybody okay with the Down Syndrome Association of the Hudson Valley having their 40th year walk and fundraiser?
September 20th?
September 20th.
28th.
28th.
28th? Come on, Amanda, speak up, Amanda.
28, it's 28, it's gonna be a big event, they are expecting over 300 people, they do know they have to contact the police.
All right. Well, if they have to contact the police, and we gotta get guys on duty, there might be some, I don't know if we can't waive the cost of the police.
I mean, we can waive the fee for the pavilion, that's not a problem. But if there's added costs because we need policemen on duty,
Yeah, but they actually told them to
All right. I mean, I'm okay with them using the park as long as they coordinate with the chief and
But-
coordinate with the cost.
they also have to understand they have to clean up after themselves. That's the other thing. Usually we take a deposit, but I mean, I don't think you would have to do that. I'm sure that you do.
And they were the same organization
Yeah.
that had the egg hunt.
Mhm.
And they did clean up there
Yeah.
themselves, so,
Yeah, I'm sure if they're aware of that, they'll.
but we'll let them know.
So I'll make a motion that we waive the rental fee at the park.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. I thought we did the touchdown club already.
I don't remember that.
But I don't remember. All right, so, dear Mr. Corcoran, I'm writing on behalf of the Marlborough Touchdown Club to request a donation of the use of the Marlborough Community Center. The Marlborough Dukes Touchdown Club strives to provide resources for all athletes who participate in varsity football program in Marlborough High School, regardless of family circumstances. We provide the necessary items needed to ensure each athlete has the most positive, safe varsity football experience possible. This year, we estimate having 40 to 45 players on our roster. We would greatly appreciate the use of the Marlborough Community Center to host a pocketbook bingo fundraiser. Possible dates we prefer is Sunday, August 31st, Sunday, August 24th, Saturday, August 16th, or Friday, August 22nd. If you have any questions or need further information, please contact me, and it gives the email address and the phone number. On behalf of the players and coach of my fellow board members of the Marlborough Dukes Touchdown Club, thank you for your consideration, and Janelle Bizzaro, Marlborough Touchdown Club Treasurer. So did we check these dates? Are any of them not available, or are they all available, or? I mean, I would prefer it probably be my opinion is be a Sunday maybe, just because Saturdays, I don't want to like not, Saturday's a big rental day for other things. I mean, Friday might be also August 22nd is probably a good day, but the Saturday, I would shy away from a Saturday. So, but I'm okay with this if everybody else is, so I'll make a motion that we waive the fee for the community center for the Marlborough Touchdown Club to have their pocketbook bingo fundraiser for the kids to raise money for their program. And I just need a second.
Are we caveating that by the day that we want it on a Friday?
Just that it can't be a Saturday.
Okay, I'll second then.
And the only other thing is, just like the last one, they're aware that they have to clean the place. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, this one is from the American Legion, and this is, they do their annual flag burning ceremony. The American Legion Post 124 would like to use the pavilion at no charge on Saturday, June 14th, 2025, for the purpose of retiring the flags. This day is also Flag Day and the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army. Thanks, Edward Timberg, Commander.
Isn't that the day of the color run? Oh, it's not, sorry, never mind. It's not at the park this year. My fault, sorry. It was at the park the last time. My fault.
So yeah, they do this every year at the park, so I don't have a problem with this as long as the day's available, which I'm hearing it is. So I'll make a motion to approve the American Legion to use the Cluett Park.
I'll second.
The 14th of June. You second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. That's it for that. And here my thing went out again, but. All right, this is the time of the meeting. We got public comments. Anybody? I see we got people out there, so come on up with your public comments. Thank you. Why this thing keeps going out? I think it's the wireless.
Hi, my name's Minette Bowman. I was here at the meeting 2 weeks ago about the garage playing the live bands. Yay, this past weekend was beautiful, peaceful Marlborough back. But they did have a band on the 17th that I told Chief Kokoza, and I also called you and told you. Did they go do a reading? Do you know?
I have not heard that they have, so no, I have not heard it. And I saw the chief today, he did not mention it, so.
Okay. Well, at the last meeting, you both had said that you were going to approach this differently, and when you know that there's a band playing, you're going to have an officer sit out there and do a
They're supposed
decibel
to sit
reading.
there and they're supposed to do the decibel reading for me, so
Yeah,
I will follow up with the chief tomorrow and
okay,
ask him if they did or did not, but he did not mention it to me today, so.
okay. Well, he also, when I had them there, the police officers on the 10th at my house, and the police officer was supposed to go back, and as he sat there and yelled in my face that he was going to go back and do the reading at 10 p.m., and he was going to go do his job, he never did his job and never did the reading. Chief Kokoza said that he told the band to stop. So he felt that that was doing their job. They have to do a decibel reading. Because if it's over 65, which you've already determined, they did one at 64 with just people talking, no band playing, that when a band is going to play, it's going to be over 65. So there was a band since the last meeting that weekend. I told you about it, I told him about it. So everybody knew there was a band playing, but I'm sure the officers did not go and do their jobs again. So how do we enforce them to do their jobs?
I'll follow up with them.
Okay, well, we can keep following up with them, but then they keep playing bands. So then I have to take time out of my life to call the cops, to listen to them, intimidate me on the phone, and say they can play till 10, 11 o'clock.
That is the procedure, though. If something's happening, you call them. I'm not sitting in the cop car 24/7, right?
Uh-huh.
I understand you're living there, so when you hear it, you make a call, and the police officers have to do their job. If they don't do their job, then I get on the chief to make sure they do their job.
Okay.
That's how it has to work. I'm not going to be in a car with a police officer there every weekend. That's not what I do. That's their job, right?
Right.
I pay Chief Kokoza to make sure they do their job. We all do. Right? You do. You're paying their
Yeah,
salary.
but they're not doing their jobs.
So we will find out.
So can I ask you a question? I'm confused. The band you're talking about was there after you and I spoke at the last meeting or before?
Yes, on the 17th, the Sugar Beats were playing at 7 p.m.
Okay. So
They were not,
I had told you,
they were not extremely loud.
right. I had told you, you and I talked after the meeting, and I told you I was going to go talk to them personally, which I did. And I was told that their site plan is okay to have bands inside the building, not outside the building.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
They can have
If they have entertainment outside the building, they have to go back for site plan amendment. If they had the band inside the building and the decibel readings below 65, by law, they're not breaking it. I'm only telling you
Okay.
what I was told.
Do you know, as the landlord, do you know if they have one of those cabaret liquor license that they're supposed to have to play live bands?
I own the building. I don't own the business.
Okay.
What they do there, if they're breaking the law, by all means, you have every right to file a written complaint and have the code enforcer go there or whatever have you. But I am only the owner of the building. They're my tenants.
Now,
And I don't control what the hair salon does. I don't control what the bar does.
Okay, but in
I
their
don't
lease
control
with
what
them-
my office worker does. I'm not in control of that.
Okay, but in their lease, did they tell you they were going to have live bands there? In their lease?
There's entertainment in there. I know that.
Okay, but not live bands. And there
Maybe
were-
that
were
falls
there
under,
any-
I would have to ask my lawyer.
Okay.
Entertainment, it states entertainment. Now, is that a live band? Is it a jukebox? Is it a guy playing a violin? I don't know. I mean, we're going to split hairs here. I guess I would have to go to my lawyer and find out what entertainment falls under.
Okay. Were there certified letters sent out to the property owners within 500 feet of?
Again, I'm
this
the
place?
owner of the building. I'm not the owner of the business. That's their business, not mine. If they go to site plan approval, it's not my site plan. My site plan approval was 16 years ago, and I can tell you everything in that building had already been approved 16 years ago. Why I even had to go back before to open up a bar is beyond me, but I did it because I was instructed to do so. Now, if they wanted entertainment, that was their entity, not mine. I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah, well, in the site plan that was revised and signed, I believe, in November of '23, it said nothing about live music. They were all worried about, the parking down there.
Why are they worried about parking?
I don't know, that was at the board meeting.
Just for your information, I'm the only building in town other than Key Bank that has their own parking.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody else has street parking, as do I. My site plan is,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it was brought up at the board meeting. The only major thing everybody was worried about was parking there.
I wasn't worried about parking, maybe other people were, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I already
think it
knew I
other
was
people.
approved.
Yeah, but there was nothing said about live things. I'm just asking that we don't keep continuing to have the bands there and the police do their jobs.
They can't stop them having bands if it's inside the building, is
If
what
it's
I'm
over
telling you.
65 at the property line,
Again, that's out of my hands.
I know.
As the landlord,
That's
I
why
have
the cops
nothing to
need
do
to
with
do their
that.
jobs. and
I agree with
write
you.
citations.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Okay, so how do we get them to do their jobs?
All I can do is tell them to do their job. I can't, again, I'm not the guy writing the ticket, am I? I can only ask them and ask the chief to make sure they do their job. All right?
So we just have to continue to just listen to the bands.
There's gonna be bands there. There's gonna be bands there. Like Dave said, they could have bands inside. Now, if it's over 65 decibel, that's a problem, but there's gonna be bands there.
Okay. Well, how do we know it's going to be over 65 if the cops
We're
don't go
gonna
do their
have to
jobs?
find out. But again, you know as well as I know, when you go there, they stop playing. And I'm not gonna have my officer sit there for 3 hours. I'm gonna have them go there for 15 minutes at a pop. If they start playing and it's over 65, they should be giving them a citation. They should give them a fine, right?
Just stopping the band isn't giving them
This is what I
fines.
talked to the chief about. He was right here when he told you. I talked to him about it. I told him to do it, right?
And he didn't do it that weekend.
So I can only follow back up. That's all I can do. I'm not a police officer.
So we're all getting different information, because the chief told me they took a decibel reading at the property line, it was 64.
That's when the band was not playing.
So they didn't take a decibel reading when the band was playing, because I'm under the impression that it was taken when the band was playing.
No.
Okay.
It happened,
Maybe you're correct and I'm
He
not.
was
I'm
supposed
just
to go
telling you,
back
that's what was
and he
told to me,
didn't go
because I did say, you and I talked after the last meeting, and I did say I was gonna follow up on it,
Yeah.
and I did. And that was, what was told to me was a decibel reading was taken at 64 on the property line, which was legal. Now, whether or not that's 100%,
that was
I
the
can't
night
tell
that they
you
were
that.
at my house.
okay.
And they did it, and then they showed up at my house at 9:58, and the officer told me that they just did the decibel reading, but, oh, the band wasn't playing, and it was at 64. And I told everybody there, they need to keep it at this level, because if it goes over that, then they're going to be breaking the noise ordinance. Well, the cop was standing right there, and 10 minutes later, the band starts playing again. So I said, well, go do your job and take the decibel reading. So now he's yelling at me, because he doesn't like my answers. So he's yelling at me that he's going to go do his job. And he didn't do his job. He went back over there, because I watched him drive around and go over there, but he just shut the band down. He didn't do a decibel reading.
So I'm gonna personally have a conversation with the chief, and I'll get the answers, because maybe
Well,
I
I know
wasn't
he didn't have-
clear
I know
enough,
he
or
didn't
maybe I
go
didn't
back and do the
understand it.
decibel reading.
You're telling
I
me
know
something
that for a
different.
What?
I know he didn't go back and do a decibel reading, so what he was supposed to do. That we know.
After he yelled at me that he was going to go do his job.
That I know. he didn't.
Yeah,
So,
so. Well, hopefully it stops.
we're gonna keep pressing.
Okay. I'll have to keep calling.
Yep. Come on up. How are you?
Fine, how about you?
All right.
My name is Linda Cool. My husband Ken and I live at 10 West Street. We have lived there for, well, since 1987. We renovated the building across the street from us at 5 West Street, and it is now Don's Cummer House Bed and Breakfast. And if I may have one moment to glorify ourselves, this we have for 3 years in a row been among the top 10% of TripAdvisor destinations in the world in terms of our ratings. We love Marlborough. We love Don's Cummer House. We put our heart and soul into it. And we're having real problems with the garage. The problems with the garage, I think the parking is getting resolved. It was just, I mean, the first Mother's Day a year ago, I think it was, what, May something or another, 2024, we came home from a Mother's Day celebration, and there were cars parked across our driveway, across Don's Cummer's driveway, and in the driveway of our neighbors, who are two elderly ladies who are scared to death by the noise that's coming out of this place. I don't have a problem with a bar. I don't have a problem with a restaurant. I have a problem with live music outside in their parking lot or on their little patio area, because there's no way to control it. Live music is wonderful when it's in a big open area away from a residential neighborhood. Live music and residential neighborhoods do not go together. You can more regulate sounds that are made by recordings or whatever, not live music. Now, I have to say, these last 10 days have been a blessing. I mean, there's been no noise. The bar has been open. There have been people there. They have been parking. It has been just fine. And that's because there was no live band. Or if there was, it was inside the building with the doors and windows closed. And that would be just fine. Because as long as it's music that's not offending, bothering, keeping us up late at night, the music was going on till 11 o'clock. We get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start preparing breakfast for our guests. And somewhere between being completely frustrated and hearing this noise in my bedroom with my windows closed, and that noise, now I admit, the police chief has lectured me. I do not own a professional decibel meter. I have but a lowly decibel app on my cell phone, which he assured me was just a toy. Well, my toy pretty well syncs with whatever they're saying because I actually have had it regulated, but that's beside the point. The decibel reading in my home with my windows closed is usually around 70% when the live band is outside in the parking lot or on their patio. And I don't think there's any way that they can control that. I mean, they can turn the amplification off, but I don't think you can control live music outside. So please, please, live music, okay, inside with the doors and windows closed. That will cut down on the number of people who will come to hear the live music. And by the way, guess why they want the live music? Because they want more than the occupancy rate that the building allows. Because people are in the parking lot, people are walking around, and people usually have open containers when they're walking around. None of this is what we want our families to live with. And our guests have complained. They realize it's not our fault. But so help me, if you've ruined my lovely bed and breakfast, I just think it's a real shame. Because those people come, they go to the Raccoon Saloon, they go to the Falcon, they go apple picking, they do all sorts of things in Marlborough. And they love Marlborough. But they don't go to the garage. I've spoken my piece. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anybody else? I got more time. They said it all. They said it all? I know. The point is well made. And I appreciate you coming and telling us how you feel. Because it gives me more ammunition when we keep going back to them, that you are coming in and still, giving us your complaints, which you should. So I appreciate that. We all do. So,
Has there been outdoor entertainment since our last meeting?
Yes, they're saying
they've been inside, but they're out on that.
No, they're not. I'm asking, that's what I'm asking.
Patio section, right?
Correct. And that's because I had a
I
conversation.
know he's been inside.
And that's because I had a conversation with the two owners. And that's because I've had a conversation with the two owners since the last meeting. Yes, they've had entertainment, but it's been indoors, to my knowledge. Now, you guys would know better because I'm 3 miles up the hill, so I'm not down there all the time. But it's been fine. Okay. I'm going to reiterate that. I will talk to the two owners again tomorrow. The only advice I can give you is continue to file written complaints. I shouldn't even be saying that because they're my tenants, but that's not the only way we're going to get to the bottom of it. If they're not listening to you and they're not listening to me, it's going to have to go to the next step further.
Oh, well,
But I just want you guys to understand, I'm the landlord. They have not broken anything on my lease other than maybe outdoor entertainment, what you're saying, and I would have to talk to my legal people about that. I know they're not supposed to have outdoor entertainment, but if they're indoor, from what I understand, the site plan reads they're allowed to do that. But I will again double check.
I'm going to have them in here in my office. It's probably going to be next week if all the dates work out. The two owners, the chief, myself, and the code enforcement officer. So we are having a conversation about this. Just haven't got to the date yet. So, can't keep having this back and forth, the same old thing, right? It's been talked to multiple times. They moved it inside, but the band's still, like you said, it's still loud when it's playing. It's still echoing, right? Especially if you have the front section with the and open, right, it still echoes out, right? So if the building's closed, you don't hear it.
Yeah,
But when-
it's supposed to be closed, you're
But when
correct.
they open the outdoor doors, then it's gonna echo out just like outside. But, so, we're gonna have this conversation that, you know, there's other people that live within the town that you have to, you know, understand their feelings at this time of night. They gotta sleep. So, we're gonna have the conversation and we're gonna see where it goes, and I hope they understand and they actually, listen to us, you know? And if they are doing something wrong, we have to make sure that they follow the law. And we're gonna have to keep pushing. But I could just tell you, it's very hard, as people know, and this, a lot of people that come to our meetings know, even though we have our codes and we want to enforce our codes, believe it or not, it's not very easy to enforce our codes. It's kind of a strange thing. Ask the people from someplace upstate. It's been 2 years. They have been illegally having weddings at their facility in a residential area. Okay, we all know about it, right? And you all know that we took them to the Supreme Court. We have a court injunction. We spent tens of thousands of dollars of your tax dollars. And the judge still says I can't go in there and shut them down under our own code. So just understand, we try to enforce the laws, but we can't sometimes enforce our own laws. It's frustrating as heck, as us sitting up here. When we create laws, we're trying to do it for the public good, but people know how to stretch the law to their favor because they know how the state is. You have to get a state Supreme Court injunction, and they want you to spend your tax dollars, and they know most people, most boards won't do it. They won't spend the money. We did. And we had them right there, and just so everybody knows, Monday, someplace upstate was supposed to come in for a public hearing for what they were doing, and they just withdrew their application. And they're changing their whole nother business model. And this whole procedure is going to start all over again. They know how to play with the law. And we're going to keep on them, and we're going to keep on these people. But again, it's not as simple as just saying, go there and shut them down. I could give them 20 violations. It doesn't matter.
If they get fined, you can.
They could get fined. The fine is, they'll pay the fine.
$5,000.
No, but they're not going to get a $5,000 fine. They're not going to get one. I know what it says, but they're not going to get a $5,000 fine. So I can't even get the judge of the Supreme Court of the state of New York to give a $5,000 fine to someplace upstate, and it's been 2.5 years. So what I'm telling you is we do have codes, and they do say certain things, but sometimes to enforce them is not as easy. It doesn't make sense. It's frustrating for me, someone that is sitting up here and trying to enforce the laws. It's frustrating as heck when I'm talking to our attorneys and they're saying, we can't do this, we can't do that. I had the police officers standing at the doorstep to go inside a wedding to shut them down. And they said, if you do that, you're going to lose the case, they're going to win, and it's going to be all in their favor. It makes no sense to me. It's like we're living in the Twilight Zone, okay? But I can only go by what the state laws require us to do. And we're keep moving forward. But again, I'm going to have a meeting personally with everybody that's involved in my office, and we're going to see if we can figure it out.
Can you follow up when it's done?
When I have the meeting, I will update us at the meeting. I definitely will. So I'm hoping we can resolve this, that they would only have bands and they would only be inside and the doors would be shut, right? Because if it's that way, then they're fine. It's just when they open those doors, it echoes out. And I can't be there 24/7, right? So you are. That's why I mean. That's why you guys got to keep calling. And I know it's a pain, but you got to keep calling.
But I think part of the problem is, and I moved down I think they have probably a scanner, but they need to computer dispatchers now. Because it's amazing when I call, all of a sudden it goes silent.
Maybe I gotta put a scanner right in the middle of town. I don't know.
I think somebody called.
I'll put a scanner on a telephone pole outside if I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box here.
Maybe if you have sound decibel readers, which they could put throughout.
So,
I thought it's here.
If that's something I can do legally, I'll try to do it. It's just,
If you loan me a professional decibel meter, I will honestly tell you what the decibel readings are, and I think they're going to match with my little apparatus.
no, I think I think some of these are just as good. I agree with you. So,
But loan me one, tell the chief to loan me one.
yeah.
Then he wouldn't have to send a police officer. I'll call
But,
the dispatch and say I got it.
You can deputize.
So let me understand this. So is it because of the loud noise late at night?
Yes, please, no, it's because of the loud noise all day.
All day long.
Oh, so,
The last time they played on Sunday, it was all that. They started their systematic tuning and sound checks at 11 o'clock, so they weren't there. The concert started, I think, approximately 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it went on till 10 o'clock at night. It's all day, it's hour after hour after hour.
Let's move on, Manny.
so the live music is all day. It's not like,
I live on Upper Orange Street, and on Cinco de Mayo, I could hear them on my front porch. From Upper Orange Street, they're right in town, right behind me. I'm on Orange Street, up further up, and I can hear them on my front porch.
Oh, yeah. It
And I have
echoes.
two small kids, so.
It echoes. I mean, that's the problem. It echoes. It'll go right up.
Streets on. So
Yeah.
maybe we're going to have concerts with a live band, it should be going 2 hours max.
We're gonna have. I'll have a conversation. That's a good point. But let me move on to the rest of it. I'm definitely gonna follow up on this. I'll update you when I get information back from them and see if we can come to some kind of a agreement that, that we believe this is unacceptable, right? So I will update you, and I'm trying to do this without having to spend another $10,000 to $20,000 of your tax dollars if I don't have to. So if that doesn't work, I tried the same thing with the other people, and then I went to the next level. So that's what I try to do first. I try to talk face to face with them, so we don't have to spend it. Yep. So you got to try them. You got to
so
try.
let me get this right, because is it like a real band type of thing? It's not like a folk,
It's not like just regular.
a
It's
folk,
like,
a guitar, a guy and the guitar singing. It's like drums and electric guitars and all that.
Marlborough was playing Ozzy when it was around my house.
all right.
Got it. Got the pitch. I got the picture now.
Not at 10:30 at night, thank you.
All right, Resolution 61. This is accept the map and plan fixing dates for public hearing for the proposed increase of improvements of facilities at Hamlin and Marlborough Sewer Improvement Area pursuant to Town Law Section 202B. So this is introducing we're going to have to bond for some of the sewer plant improvements that we're undertaking right now. Again, we got a lot of grants, we got a lot of money. Some of the money is still not in yet because as developers develop, that's how they pay their monies. So in order to get this done, and of course it's been 2 years, prices have gone up. So the $2.5 million project turned into a $3 million project, and it's part of what we're doing here. So Supervisor Corcoran proposes the following: whereas on the town board of the town of Marlborough, the town acts as a commissioner of the Hamlin and Marlborough Sewer Improvement Area, and whereas the town board has received the map and plan prepared by Briner and Laros PC dated, and that was, I don't have the date in here. Where is the date? We'll include the date. The map plan, which describes the need of upgrades, expansion of the wastewater treatment facility, the project as an estimated $3.108 million, inclusive of design, engineering, and professional fees and cost estimates. Whereas the plan financed the cost of project use of the funds made available at the town pursuant of American Rescue Plan Act in the aggregate amount of $1,641,647, developer contribution in the amount of $457,915, and the proceed obligation issued by the town pursuant to local financial law of $1,008,438. Now hereby resolved that the map plan and hereby ratified and approved, the town board will consider the map plan, the cost estimate, and the plan to finance the project cost to increase the improvement of the facility to Hamlin and Marlborough Sewer Improvement Area public hearing pursuant of 202B of the town law. And pretty much we're doubling the size of the sewer plant, so which is needed, hasn't been done since it was put in, so that's why we're doing this. The public hearing shall be held on the Town Hall, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, on the 9th day of June, 2025, 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, for the purpose of conducting a public hearing on the proposed increase of improvement of the facility of the Hammond and Marlborough Sewer Improvement Area in the town, an estimated cost of $3,108,000 for upgrades and expansions to the wastewater treatment facility related to work inclusive design, engineer, and other professional fees, as which time, place said the town will hear all persons interested in the subject concerning the same. The town clerk of the town of Marlborough is hereby authorized to cause a notice of public hearing and published in the Southern Ulster Times, the official newspaper of said town, and posted in a manner prescribed by law, which notice shall be given at no less than 10 days and no more than 20 days before the public hearing, and substantially the following way. Make it notice that the town board of the town of Marlborough, Ulster County, New York, will meet on Town Hall, 21 Milton Turnpike, Milton, New York, on the 9th day of 2025, 7:00 p.m. prevailing time, at the purpose of conducting a public hearing, a purpose to increase improvements over the facilities of the hamlet of Marlborough Sewer Improvement Area, and the estimated cost of $3,108,000 for the upgrades and expansion of the wastewater facility, inclusive of design, engineering, professional fees, in which time the place the town board will hear all persons interested in the subject concerning the same. A lot of repetitive stuff there. It's all legal stuff, but just so everybody knows, it's 3.108 million. Just so everybody also knows, $882,356 of this money coming from federal AARP money. $500,000 is coming from a grant that legislator Corcoran got from the county. The dockside project, which is going on, is $609,000 contribution to this project. The Bayside project was $311,494. And then the commercial property was an additional $17,388. So a lot of this is being paid by grants and developers. So our contribution is going to be the $1 million, and again, probably should have been about $500,000, but since everything went up in the last year, it increased the price on this. So that's why we have to put it out for bond. So, in the foregoing resolution was duly put to vote, which resulted as follows.
Councilperson Kauki,
Yes.
Councilperson Sessa,
Yes.
Councilperson Zambito,
Yes.
Supervisor Corcoran.
Yes. Thank you. This is what you got to put in, right? All right, Resolution 62. So this is for the stormwater control facility maintenance agreement and fixed amount performance bonds. Again, this is for Highland Solar LLC. These are the bonds that have to be in place to make sure that they have their facilities, the stormwater in place by town codes, and they have to have performance bonds in place by town codes in order to maintain the facility. And this is pretty much a generic form, but I'm not going to read this whole form because it's a lot, but I'm going to get down to where it says an estimated $227,412 to complete the remaining portion of the facility has been provided by Highland 201 Solar Engineering, approved by the town engineer. And now therefore be resolved, the town supervisor is hereby authorized to execute the agreement on behalf of the town. And further resolved that the amount of performance security of the completion of the facility is hereby set at $227,412, and it is further resolved that the Highland 201 Solar be required to file with the town clerk performance security in the form described in section 135-11B1 of the town code and approved by the attorney of the town in form sufficient and manner of execution. The foregoing resolution was put to a vote and result as follows.
Supervisor Corcoran,
Yes.
Councilperson Kauki,
Yes.
Councilperson Sessa,
Yes.
Councilperson Zambito,
Yes.
Thank you. And Manny, you're up.
I'm up. Okay. Well, it's 8 o'clock, and I make a motion to adjourn.
I need a second. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you, everybody.